Hi everybody, welcome back. It's Justy, and this is literally the day after getting back from Disneyland. This video is not coming out for a very long time, but I had to get it out today. It was super important. I didn't want to forget any of this story, and I had to post it. It's too wild. I can't believe it happened, but it did, and I'm super excited to share the story with you guys. I mentioned a few things about what happened at Goofy's Kitchen in my day 4 in LA video, but it wasn't enough. It didn't do this event justice, so here I am telling the story to you. I even, for the occasion, have on a Disney shirt. It's just that you can't really see it, but look, there it is. Not bought on this trip, but one of my favorite shirts ever. Alright, so here we go. What happened at Goofy's Kitchen? Goofy's Kitchen, we had a reservation for Tuesday evening, which is the day that Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party happens, which means everybody was kicked out of the park at 6 p.m. anyway. So because it's in downtown Disney, we felt if we did it on that day, we weren't losing any time in the park, and it gave us something to do once we'd kind of been removed. Dinner was booked for 7:35. I think the latest you could book was like 8:30 or something. That's kind of when they stopped taking reservations, so we were pretty close to the end, but that was fine. Obviously that meant, again, we weren't going to miss anything in the park, and it allowed us to build up a sufficient amount of hunger because we were trying so much food in the park. So we get there and everything starts off normal. They ask if there's a special event that's bringing us here today, which it was my birthday. That's why I booked this restaurant. I visited Goofy's Kitchen when I was 12, and it was my very first trip to Disney, and I haven't been back since. So I wanted to go back specifically for my birthday dinner. It wasn't like on my birthday, but the whole trip was like a birthday trip. So they show us to our seat. They say there'll be a little special event because it's my birthday. They're going to come out and sing to me later, which singing to me in restaurants actually stresses me out a lot, but it's Disney, it's special, and I'm certainly not going to say no. So we're eating our buffet style food where peanut butter and jelly pizza is an option, which I highly recommend. It's amazing. And the characters slowly start coming through. They come kind of one at a time, visit the tables in the area. Lots of fun. If you ever get a chance to do character dining, I would recommend it at least once. I think there's also like a princess specific one, but I love Goofy's Kitchen, and the mascots are just a lot of fun. So Chip stopped by our table first. Very cute. He's one of the waiters of Goofy's Kitchen, and he does a great job. They come by and they talk to you for a little bit. They sign your autograph books, take some pictures. You saw that in the last video with all the video clips we took. Thank you, Steph. And it was a great time. We immediately forced Brian to sing the Chip and Dale theme song for him, and then the same to Dale, of course, which was just funny in itself. Seeing them do their little boogies and having Brian just do that for them was hilarious. So good, putting this off to a great start. After the two brothers, everything proceeded pretty normally. We got Pluto, we had Goofy, and I'm pretty sure Minnie was last. And it was a lot of fun, just regular, like getting autographs, taking pictures, very normal, very good, talking to them, complimenting all of them because they're amazing chefs, as you do. I got very lucky in that Goofy had come around a second time and was like talking to the table behind us. And as he came back to our table, that was actually when they came out to sing happy birthday to me. So they had all the front staff. I got my little cupcake, and Goofy got to be there for my happy birthday song as well. So I felt very special, because I did see there were some tables where if they just timed it wrong, it was just done without a character, which is fine too, don't get me wrong. I would have been just as happy with that. But I was very excited to have Goofy sing me happy birthday in Goofy's Kitchen. So the dinner proceeds as normal. We're having a good time. The food's great. We've had some conversations with the characters that are a good time. We're super happy. Now, the characters continue to come around to each section just in case, anybody new has been sat, or they just come up and check and, ask you how your food is, that sort of stuff. So you get to see them throughout the whole night. It's really nice. As it gets later and later, they have stopped allowing new people to come in. The reservations have ended, and people are slowly trickling out. So we're one of the last few tables that's around. There's a few others as well, but it's definitely dwindling. So as there's less and less people, the characters visit us more and more. And this is where things start to get a little bit silly. Not in a disrespectful way. We were just having a great time with these characters. And honestly, I hope they had a great time too. They got to work all night. I hope they enjoyed coming to our table. So things started to really get going. I don't think it was the second, I think it was honestly the third time Chip had come back round to our table. We were still eating a lot slower. We definitely weren't eating as much. We were hanging out, having a good time. Not causing problems, I want to reiterate again. Until later. So Chip comes back, and of course we're talking to him, and we start calling him. We're like, Chip, like, you're such a good waiter. Like, Goofy's Kitchen is so lucky to have you. You've been great service all night. And of course, Chip loves it, loving the attention as one would. And we kind of keep going, like, we're having a good time, like, yeah, Chip, they don't deserve you here, you should be getting a raise, you should be running this place, like, just building him up, and Chip's like, yeah, you know, and eventually it gets to the point where Chip rips off his bow tie and throws it on the ground. We made Chip quit Goofy's Kitchen. So our friend Brian is like, yo, what the heck? And we're like, yeah, Chip, yeah, you're better than this. So eventually I pick up the bow tie and Steph snaps it back on his outfit. I'm like, shh, it's okay. We won't tell anybody. This is our secret. It's our secret, Chip. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. Chip's like, yeah. No problem. And Chip continues on his way again. And this just is pretty much how all the interactions go forward. Not everybody quit. That was just Chip. But basically, every time they came, we were just being silly. We were having a good time with them. At one point, Dale came, and he wasn't like right at the table, but he was leaning on the divider wall that was separating our table from like the big hallway to go up to the next area. And we're talking to him, and again, we're complimenting him, like, you're a great waiter. We don't get him to the point of quitting, because Goofy comes up, and he's also standing on the divider wall. And we're like, Goofy, you got the best waiter we've ever seen here. Of course, we just told this to his brother. But we're like, yeah. Steph's like, 10 out of 10 on Yelp. I give Chip 10 out of 10, you know. And their characters are laughing. They're doing their belly laughs. And we're being sillier and sillier. And then those two continue on their way. Now, by this point, there's got to be, like, it's just us and this family, like, over in, with a glass separator so we can see them, but they're separated. And then there's, like, a tourist family as well, higher up, in another area, who we see eventually as they kind of walk back and forth. But they're not sitting near us. But there's 3 tables left. So they're coming to see us so much. And Pluto comes back. And Pluto's acting nice. He licks my cheek. We have a good time. And then tries to lick Brian's cheek. And I'm like, Pluto, I gotta tell you something about Brian. I didn't make this up. While we were in line to meet Mickey when you first enter in, because Mickey doesn't walk around the tables, he does the parades, but you meet him before you enter the restaurant. He's cooking in the kitchen. He's making everyone's dinner. Brian had seen Pluto's picture on the wall as the sous chef. And Brian goes, that dog can't be working in the kitchen. That's against health and safety. And I'm like, a dog owns the restaurant! So I tell Pluto this, I'm like, hey, he said you can't work in the kitchen because it's against health and safety. So Pluto kicks Brian out of his seat and sits down at the table now with me and Steph. And he, we're complimenting him, saying his food is great no matter what Brian says. He's got a cute little frying pan name tag. And we're like, oh, you can make pancakes and it'll have your name in it. We're chit-chatting. While we're doing this, Brian has gone to sit at one of the tables that has been empty. There's no family there anymore. He's sitting by himself. And Dale comes up and he's leaning on the divider by Brian. And Brian's having a real conversation over there. He's like, yo, man, like, this is ridiculous. I come here with my friends. I told them something in confidence. I'm getting kicked out. Dale, this is ridiculous. He's having a real heart-to-heart with Dale. While we are talking to Pluto, Steph mentions how it's unfair that Goofy's the head chef and gets clothes and a nice outfit, but Pluto doesn't. That's not fair. And while talking this trash about Goofy, Goofy comes up on the other side of the divider wall, and Steph's like, oh my god. And we're immediately like, hey Goofy, like, we love your outfit, you get such fun buttons, like complimenting him because we just been talking trash. And while we both look over and we see Brian talking trash about us to Dale now. And we're like, Pluto, look at that. He's over there talking trash about us, Pluto. Like, this is ridiculous. He talked trash about you, now he talked trash about us. So Pluto gets up and he walks over to Brian, and we're talking to Goofy for a few moments, and we look over and Pluto is dragging him all the way around a table to the corner of this little section we're sitting in. He turns a chair around so it's facing the corner and makes Brian sit in it. Pluto put Brian in a timeout for talking trash. How many people could say they've seen Pluto put someone in a timeout? And Minnie's come up now, and she's standing beside Goofy, and we had been talking amongst ourselves earlier about how everyone had come to visit us, but not Mickey. You know, what the heck? Mickey hadn't come to see us in a playful way, obviously. I don't fully expect it, but we're like, what the heck? Where's Mickey? And one of the ladies who worked there, this is when she explained that Mickey doesn't actually do the walk-arounds. He greets you at the front, and he comes to do their little parades, but he doesn't walk around at the tables. That's because it's not his kitchen. It's Goofy's kitchen. So we're like, oh, okay, cool, that's fair. We didn't know that. Totally makes sense why he hasn't come to see us. But then a second guy comes and he says, well, actually, like, that's true, but because it's the end of the night and we're not accepting any more reservations, Mickey, when he's done all the photos, because there's no one new coming, will come and he'll wander around a little bit too. So that's nice. So I'm yelling at Minnie as she's here. I'm like, Minnie girl, like, I love the cupcake you made me. I respect it. It's a great birthday cupcake. But your husband hasn't come to see us, Minnie. And she's like, oh, he's out cooking. He's out cooking. I'm like, no, Minnie. He's, like, at this table. He hasn't come to see us. You talk to him. And she's like, okay. So we're on our own for a few moments, and we're kind of eating and laughing about what's happened. And then all the characters are, like, around us in this area. Either some are inside the divider near our table, or just, like, surrounding their divider, but everyone is there. And then Mickey shows up. And behind the divider, he sees all this nonsense that's happening, all the talking trash, that Pluto's putting someone in a timeout. And we don't know if he was trying to, like, play some sort of charade or if he was just, like, trying to get out of what was happening. But behind the divider, he does, like, this, like he's rowing a boat, and, like, continues on. And we are all like, charades! So we started a giant game of charades with these characters. So Mickey did that one, and then Goofy and Mickey did the paddle boat together. Minnie and Mickey went up and did, like, Titanic. It was so cute. One of the employees did one of the princesses. I can't remember. Oh, it was Rapunzel, I think. One of the tourists from, like, up that we weren't sitting near had come down, and they got her to come up, and she did Elsa. It's a little hard to guess. I'm going to be real with you. She could have been a better charades player, but she played, and that's what's important. I went up, and it's actually really hard to think on the spot. Like, we weren't prepared for this whatsoever, so, like, I did Pluto, and Pluto gave me a big hug afterwards. Steph went up and did Belle. It was just this whole, we had the entire staff at this point. Like, the chefs had come up, because they're not cooking anymore. You know, everyone was out watching us play charades. I'm so sad we didn't get any of it on video. We filmed, like, everything else, but all of this was happening so quick, and there was so much happening. While we're playing, like, one of the ladies asked me and Steph, she's like, do you two work here? And we're like, oh, no. And she's like, you definitely should. Which, like, I agree. Disney, I'm a perfect candidate to be working in your parks, especially Goofy's Kitchen. Bring me on. So after the game of charades, it's finally time. The characters gotta go. They've been on their feet all day. They're tired. That's fair. So they all kind of wave goodbye slowly. We get a few hugs, and then they head out. So that leaves us with the remaining staff, who we chit-chat with a little bit. We say, like, they ask if we're done eating so they can finally clean up the food, and we're like, oh yeah, please, like, go. We're the ones here who were here late. We know that, please. So we chit-chat for a little bit. They're all super nice, and finally, like, we start packing up, and we head out. And it's super late by this time. It's gotta be like 9:30. I can't totally remember. But it was the wildest dinner I have ever had. And honestly, the best dinner I have ever had. Now, I don't think anyone can say they've experienced talking trash with the characters about other characters. I don't think they can say they've been put on a timeout by Pluto, or if you have, please tell me. I want to hear about that. And I don't know if anyone else has started a big game of charades with them. One of the ladies said usually at the end of the night they start getting mischievous, like Chip and Dale will start kind of locking each other out of the restaurant and Mickey has to come and mediate and make them behave, but instead they all played this dumb game with us. It was so good. They're so perfect and so kind and gave me literally the best birthday dinner I have ever had. I am sure they all thought we were drunk with how silly we were and how we were coming up with this stuff, but we don't drink. We were definitely 100% sober. We are just weird. So that was our dinner in Goofy's Kitchen. I would 10 out of 10 definitely recommend on Yelp. I wish I could eat there every night. It's such an experience, and again, I really, really, really recommend it if you have a chance to go. And to make sure the kids get to meet like the core group without having to chase them down in the park. Sometimes they get real busy, they got a lot of people to see, but at Goofy's Kitchen, they'll come to you. I hope you enjoyed my story about Goofy's Kitchen. When this comes out, it's going to be pretty much the last video of the year, and what a way to end the year, honestly. Give me a subscribe if you like this content, because there will definitely be more. I will absolutely be returning to Disney, like that hair flip. And you can check out my social medias down below if you're interested. Disney photos have been posted, so you can see them if you want. If not, that's cool. You came and watched this video, so I'm a happy camper. And you should definitely leave me a comment about what your wildest or most fun or most treasured memory is in a Disney park. Can be any of them. You know what? Give me a Disney store. Just give me your best Disney memory. I'm so excited to hear them. Alright everybody, thank you so much for watching. Bye.